I always start with the end in mind, right? I'm always thinking when I'm making an offer or evaluating a deal, what can I do to make this offer, this deal attractive to my buyer?
Welcome back, guys. I think this is video 7 in the series. I've been here with Joe all day long recording about how to build a land flipping business, how to make money flipping land. It's kind of a little bit of a hidden secret. Not a lot of people know about it. If you've watched up until now, you're gonna have a really clear picture on how to do this business, because Joe has really pulled back the curtain and showed exactly how he does his business. So thank you again, Joe. It's been really fun doing this with you. On this video, we kind of want to bring it all back full circle and talk about some of the different ways that you can sell your deals now. Hopefully, if you followed all the steps, you found a market, you found a way to find the buyers, you found a way to find the sellers, a way to come to an offer price, how to make the offers. And now let's say that you've gotten that great deal, you got that contract accepted. Your numbers right now on average are about 1 in 30 offers you make is going to land a good deal.
What if it's 1 out of 50? It's still amazing.
Yeah, that's phenomenal, because you can reverse engineer and you can get to where you're doing deals every single month. Yeah. Isn't that fun? So now, Joe, share with us on this video some of your favorite tactics and techniques to then get these properties resold, because the goal here is to flip. We're not really holding any. The goal isn't to hold this land. You can.
Yeah, you can make great cash flow.
But
most people, when they're getting started, I'd rather you make a quick nickel than a slow dime.
Yeah, I agree. Yep, because we're all about flipping here. At least that's the strategy we're focusing on with this series. So what are some of the best ways for someone to quickly resell these deals?
I always start with the end in mind. Right? I'm always thinking when I'm making an offer or evaluating a deal, what can I do to make this offer, this deal attractive to my buyer? And this is why we started this whole series with know who the buyers are, know where the demand is. So I'm looking for, if I sell this deal, who's going to buy it and what are they going to be willing to pay for it? So I'm thinking in the back of my mind, if I'm trying to sell this for 20 and there's other vacant lots that are for sale for 15, it's probably not going to work.
You're going to sit, yeah.
So I'm always thinking in the back of my mind, what's going to make this deal attractive and sexy to buyers? And so that's price number one. So when you've got a good deal and you're in it, if you've picked the right market, these deals are easy to sell. You'll sell them very, very quickly. You'll get a ton of calls. And you'll learn kind of the good areas. You know, there's certain areas in Florida where we're doing deals right now where there's a certain species that's kind of endangered called the scrub jay, okay? And you just need to know. So we've gotten deals under contract and found out there's scrub jays there, which means...
That's a plant?
No, I think it's a bird. I don't know.
It's a bird?
That nests in the ground, I think. But so you can still sell those deals, but you just have to make sure there's like a couple $1,000s that the buyer needs to put into the deal to relocate the scrub jays or the turtles or whatever.
So there's nuances you're going to learn about land,
which is why I use realtors.
Yeah,
so much,
they'll tell you all that.
So I'm thinking end in mind. So my favorite way to sell deals is with realtors. We talked about it before. You can't afford not to use a realtor, in my opinion, because they have access. They can put your property on the MLS, which has the widest audience of buyers. I don't pay them until they get paid. Until I get paid. Yeah. They don't get paid until I get paid.
So closing.
Yeah. So they only get paid if they bring me a buyer. So they're going to sell the property for more than what I would sell it on my own, and they're going to sell it faster than they would if I tried to do it on my own.
And statistics show that with on market, even after paying commissions, you're still going to make more money because, again, you just said it. When you go on market, you're going to get the most eyeballs on your deal. Yep. It's going to beat any other system, any other website, any other thing, because nothing gets more eyes than on market. Because once it goes on the MLS, it gets grabbed by Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, Trulia, and all the other sites. So now the entire world sees this deal.
Yeah. Now, some people try to save money and they'll put it on Facebook Marketplace, Facebook groups, which is good. You should do that. But the problem is that it's so noisy out there. You get a lot of leads. I don't know if we've ever even sold a deal from Facebook.
You're going to get other wholesalers trying to reassign your deal and all that kind of stuff going on. Now, one of the challenges with on market is typically that would mean you buy it, then resell it. But you mentioned in the series, hope you guys remember this, about how you get a pre-marketing clause in your contract, which gives you the right, the seller's giving you permission to market and sell that property. So you could technically get the contract for $4,500, with your pre-marketing clause, you could turn right around, not buy it yet. You got a 90-day close, market it for sale. Again, make sure you can do this in your state, in your market, and do it right. But then you could relist it for, $16.99 and sell it and do an assignment still, right?
Exactly.
Couldn't you?
Yeah. And this is why this whole thing with wholesaling being illegal, immoral, and fattening in states like Oklahoma or Illinois, right? We could argue that till we're blue in the face, right? But like, what they care about is that you're using a realtor.
Somebody's getting a commission and everybody's fine.
It's a giant cartel is what I think. The NAR, they're the largest lobby in Washington. Right. Well, anyway, so okay, fine, use a realtor. You need to outsource the selling side anyway. Why not outsource it to a realtor? And that helps avoid all of the licensing, wholesaling without a license stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do need to bring money and close on the deal before you can list it, but it's not that big of a deal. We're buying these things for $4,500. You can put that on a credit card. But make sure you pay it off right away. You could borrow. You know how easy it is to borrow $4,500 on a deal at maybe 40% loan to value, where there's 60% equity. The best thing that can happen for your private investor is you default and they have to take the property back and make more money anyways, right? So it's very easy to find private money. That's a whole other subject, but I like to always say, dig your well before you're thirsty. Start building your network with friends and family of people that are willing to partner with you on a land deal, right? So if you've got some private money, you may need to close on it, but I list it with an agent. That's my favorite way to sell my deals. Since we do a lot of deals, we do have a subscription to Land.com. They're the websites, like the number one website that people go to list properties on. So, but it's an ungodly amount. We pay like $750 a month or whatever to list about 5 to 10 properties on Land.com.
So that might make sense if you're doing volume.
Volume, yeah. The other thing is,
what about Land Watch? Back on Land Watch,
that's owned by Land.com.
Oh,
right?
So you have to pay to post on there?
Yeah.
That's the $700?
Yeah.
No, okay.
Now the cool thing is, sometimes what I tell beginners is find somebody else who's already doing land deals in that area and call them up. Say, hey, I think I got a deal here under contract. And I'm new, and I saw that you do a lot of activity here. Would you want to partner on this deal with me? And we'll just split it 50-50. Guess what that guy has now, or gal? They have buyers already. They have the cash. They can close on the deal. They have the buyers. And they already are paying that $700 a month to Land.com. They have the realtors. They have somebody that can go take pictures. And so then you can partner with them, and you just split it 50-50. So that's a great way to sell deals once you get them under contract. So putting them on Land.com. There's other little websites that we sometimes use, like landflip.com and landmodo.com. So those are some other sources. Of course, there's Facebook. There's Facebook and there's Craigslist.
Yeah.
You can put properties on Craigslist.
But all those sites, are those when you actually take down the property and buy it, or can you still try to sell on there while you're in contract?
Yeah, all the other sites don't care at all. That you might have to check a box that says you have it under contract.
Yeah.
But those other sites don't care. They're kind of like more of the for sale by owner resources.
Now make sure you don't ever market the property. If you are doing a wholesale, like a true assignment, remember you're always marketing your contract, not the property.
Yes.
That's just wholesaling 101. You're going to violate brokering rules if you're marketing a property, not a contract.
And this is important too. When you're wholesaling houses or land, you have to have the intent and the means to buy the property.
Yeah.
So you really do have the intent of buying it, and then you have the money to buy it when you do buy it. So, and then when you sell it, you're selling the contract. So there's a lot of these nuances. But again, all of that is kind of eliminated when you use a realtor.
Yeah, all that goes away because you have agent representation. So that you're totally right about that. And one thing I love about this just in general is we've mentioned this a few times, but when you're dealing with houses, now you're dealing with sellers that own these properties, and you introduce a whole nother layer of consumer protection and treating sellers the right way. And home investors got in so much trouble over elderly people. All of that is happens with houses. None of that's going on with vacant lots that someone's owned for 10 years or whatever, right? No. So you just eliminate, again, it makes the flipping part of this you remove a whole layer of emotional distressed seller going on here.
Yeah.
Which is great.
You're dealing with a different seller. It's just easier, not as much competition. Let me say a few things about selling, because this is really, really important that a lot of beginning investors forget or ignore, don't think it's important. Getting good pictures. You've got to get good quality professional photos, not drive-by iPhone, not Google Street View or Google Satellite Image. Those are okay, but I'm telling you, we've had properties that we, in a hurry, we put it out there and we just have Google Street View screenshots. We have satellite. We even draw the fancy lines, around the lot, and it just calls in. We go to Thumbtack. You've heard of Thumbtack?
Yep.
And we find somebody in the area that will take professional photos and drone footage. And we'll, overnight, instantly, 2, 3, 4 times the number of calls just because we have real pictures in there. And it's important when you're taking pictures, you get the blue sky, as much of the blue sky as you can. Get some high-end drone footage, a couple $100. Mm-hmm. Well worth
Best
the investment.
spent money, yeah.
Just like houses, it's important, if you're rehabbing them, to stage them, at least some of the main areas in the house. So it's kind of that way with land. You got to get good pictures. Can't overemphasize the importance of that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I'll say is it's helpful to have a website. I almost want to say it's more important maybe for land to have a selling website than it is for houses, because a lot of these buyers are repeat buyers. And they're going to go to your website to see what else you have and to join your buyers list. So there's a lot of good websites out there. I use Carrot, and there's another resource I use for called Pebble. It's got some land websites. Or you can I've done this many times. I find a website I like and I hire somebody on Upwork to go build me a website similar to that one.
Yeah, we offer them in Flipster. They're really clean,
Nice.
really slick. That's a subscription software for flipping. But those sites are really great because you can create a gallery and
it makes you look professional. It makes you look
you can mark
some
them sold
credibility.
and things. Yeah.
Oh, and this happens a lot. They'll go in and look at how many sold properties does this guy have. Now, if you're new, don't worry about that. You still have credibility. Don't worry about not having a bunch of sold.
What we do that with Flipster is you can check a box and it'll automatically build out a sold gallery.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just to make you look more professional. Now, they weren't your properties, but it doesn't say that. But it shows, And
so getting good pictures, real important. Getting it on a website is real important. I know some guys that they just hate websites, so they don't get them. But they'll put them all on your Facebook page. So they'll get a Facebook business page and then list all their properties on there, and that's what they use as their website.
That's their gallery.
That's
that's
their gallery.
That's a free, easy way out.
Yeah.
To do it. That's great.
So what else can you say? It's important to build a buyer's list. Once you start going and you start doing more and more of these deals, just like houses, you're going to have buyers that want more properties like that. And so you can call them, text them, email them. Hey, I got a new deal. You interested? One of the best ways, we talked about it before, were those letters, right? Remember that desperate, motivated buyer letter?
That's cool.
So handwrite these. I got to sell my property. Urgent. Please help. I got to sell it now. Phone number. Crumple those up. Send those to buyers nearby, and that works really well. One final thing I'll say are neighbor letters. So sometimes we send a letter to the neighbors saying, hey, I'm your new neighbor. We just bought this vacant lot next to yours, and I'm selling it right now. I'm going to be selling it for $20,000. Since you live next to the property, I'd be willing to give you a little discount. If you want to buy it for $19,000, then call me right now at this number, and then we attach a plot map which shows them their property and this property.
Very cool. Yeah.
So we sold, not a bunch, but we sell some deals with neighbors. Sometimes we'll skip trace and call the neighbors, say, hey, here's something next to you. Would you be interested? That's it.
There's one thing before we wrap up here that I really want to maybe say with this whole series so far is the way that Joe's laid this out is amazing for getting in the business and starting to do deals right away. But I hope you realize that there's a huge opportunity with land, and there's where you can go with this is massive. And I'll just share with you a couple of personal examples.
You're telling me.
So I did I do a lot of spec building, and I like to do luxury new construction. And so I have a lot that I bought pre-COVID in Paradise Valley. So it's a 1 acre lot. We tore a house down. I've done some content on this deal. And we went ahead and we got the plans, architectural plans done. And we went so far as to get a permit. Now that took me about a year to get my demo. We demoed the house. I did architectural plans, and we submitted. We had to go back and forth, got permit. But now what I did is I did a massive value add on this lot. And we actually ended up selling this lot, and I made almost $1 million net profit. Well, I bought the lot for $1 million and I sold it for a little over $2 million. After I netted out, I paid $75,000 to the architect, and we $30,000 or whatever for the tear down, and then my permit fees. But my point with sharing that is, and I was in the deal for a while, like over a year, but land is something where you can also value add.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've got a deal right now I was telling you about. This is a deal I'm in right now. We found this deal on PropWire. I'm partnering with a student, but it's a 45-acre parcel, and we bought it so well that we could have just kind of turned around and resold it, just relisted, resold it. Super motivated seller, got it for a great deal. But I sat down with Matt's his name, and I said, tell me all of the different options I have. I'll invest with you on this deal. And we laid out all these different scenarios. And the best one was, let's split it out into like 9 lots. Let's put a little road in. Let's get a survey done. So we're spending some money. We cleared out a bunch of, so you can get in there and people can see what they're getting. And this should be, I haven't sold it yet because we're almost there to where we're going to start selling lots. But if we hit anywhere near our numbers, this is a $500,000 net profit deal, right? It's dirt, and it's right under everybody's noses. No one even saw this. We picked up the lead on PropWire. He cold called and got this deal. And
was he looking for land deals, or was he just looking for deals?
Yeah, no, I think so. I don't know if he was even looking for land when he was doing the lead gen. And we're looking at some other deals because this guy's a really smart kid and figuring this stuff out. But my point with sharing that is, just like I think with any real estate, there's no ceiling on what you can do with land. Man,
I got so many stories. One student I know was struggling. They didn't have a lot of money for marketing, and dealing with a little insecurity, not afraid to get on the phone and talk to sellers. So what she's done is she goes into an area, finds who the buyers are, calls them, and just to kind of build some confidence level that she knows she's got somebody behind her, right? And she'll just go and text for sale by owners, realtors, and sometimes if she finds a good buyer in a good little pocket, she'll start texting the owners from her cell phone.
Still not talking to anybody. And by text, just negotiates a deal. Says, hey, I see you've got this vacant lot. I can pay X for it. And she's doing a deal every 3 days. That's incredible.
Doing a deal every 3 days. Not super huge deals. Yeah. Right? She's just making quick $2-3 grand.
Yeah.
Wholesale assignment fees, with these things. But
yeah, isn't that cool though? That's awesome.
It makes me, I get so excited that I get to help people do this kind of stuff, And there's the big deals, which sounds awesome. But I think most people, if they just did made $2 grand on a deal, maybe did a couple of those a month, what a difference that can make in people's lives, right?
I totally agree. And you start somewhere. So you've laid out where to really start and make this super simple to get into the business. Maybe over time you build into doing some big deals like that where you're actually, splitting land and clearing and all those things.
Well, you just partner with somebody.
To
do that.
Yeah, that's what Matt did, my student. He just said, Jerry, what I did is I interviewed him about some deals he wholesaled, and then he told me about this deal. And then offline, I'm like, tell me more about that deal. And he tells me about it. I'm like, if I funded this project, would you partner with me and you handle everything? He's like, are you kidding me? He's like a 20-some-year-old young guy new in the business. And here we are in this amazing deal. So yeah, you can partner with people and start doing big deals if that's where you want to go with this. So guys, this has been fantastic. Again, thank you, Joe. Be sure to get his toolkit. It's in the link to that is in the description. It's going to give you his offer system, some of his direct mail, his contracts, all these resources that are so valuable to be able to get started in this business. And I want to put this out there too on our last video. When you download that free toolkit, you're going to watch a really quick video of Joe and I, and we're going to invite you onto a more advanced training, which is going to show you how to really get Joe's system to do this business and really scale it and get to the point where you're doing deals every single month and really hitting your financial goals. And that's exciting too. So be on the lookout for that as well. And Joe, are you up for? If you're up for it, let's plan on doing more videos. You don't have to come all the way to Puerto Rico. Maybe we can do Zoom or whatever.
Wait, I'd love to come back.
Okay, we are going iguana hunting tomorrow, so maybe if you just come back for that, that'd be worth it for me. Yeah, super fun. So thank you, Joe. Really appreciate you. And guys, again, we would love your feedback. And what Joe would be willing to do, I think, is if you guys leave a lot of comments and a lot of questions about things, what we could do is we can compile those questions and maybe get on and do some lives and really go through and make sure that we're hitting all the things people have questions about, because this might be a brand new thing and you might have a lot of questions around land.
Yeah.
And if you're open to that, maybe we could do some follow-up where we...
Totally.
It's hard to answer some questions in the comments. We'll try our best, but sometimes it's better to like jump back on and do maybe more detail and drill down on some of those questions.
Yeah, while we were just finishing up, I thought of some things that I should have maybe spent more time talking about.
So I'm let's
sure
do
you
some
guys,
more videos.
Yeah. I'm sure you guys are going to have some questions.
Perfect.
Type them in the comments down below. Let us know what you think. If this is like, what I even like the haters out there that give us bad comments. You
learn from that. I do.
Yeah.
We'll also put, Joe, your social, maybe your YouTube channel. You're doing a lot of content on YouTube, teaching how to do land deals. So guys, get into Joe's world as well. Follow his channel. Start learning from him. A wealth of information. As you could tell in this series, so willing to give and such a good teacher and able to explain these strategies in such vivid detail. Love that.
I've been trying on my YouTube videos to do more live seller calls and more realtor calls. They're not as good as yours, but I don't have a video editor, I think. My calls would be a lot better if I had your video editor helping me with my videos.
Yeah.
But it's fun, man. I love doing that on the calls, on these live YouTubes of just calling realtors, calling sellers, and it's fun.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it really helps people see the business too.
Yeah.
Good. So thank you guys. Sure appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next video.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, everybody.